Appreciate you dropping in. I'm trying to get these little earbuds up in here. Hey, you saw that topic. I hadn't even thought about this. It was, I never expected the question to come from my son, man. Shout out Raymond. I hope you watch this. But you brought back a thought, a stream of thinking that I had for a long time that I really hadn't talked about because, the subject hadn't came up. Wait a little bit. Man. And then there's a couple other, I just put various topics in there because I didn't want to just, overload the doggone box with all, you only get so many letters to use. But, just my little take on YNW Melly. Come across a couple of videos, Jamie Foxx making a statement. Of course, did I say what? Okay, yeah. Just about like communication, also the words, I mentioned this sometime before, something about collective rage and soul ties, you know what I mean? It was just something that I was thinking about, just, whenever something pop in my head, I like to share it, you know what I mean? See what other people think about it. Sparks, what up, man? All right, let me see. Hit that like, share this live. And make sure I don't lose my video here. All right. Let's see, 1 minute 35, all right. Start at the 2 minute mark. Man, it's a beautiful day out here, man. Man, sun just came back up, golly. Okay, I can't do migraines, y'all, I can't do migraines. What's going on, NC? Oh, man. Woo! Welcome to the party. Hit that like, share this live. All right, I'm about to get into this, man. I didn't expect this. This is what gave me my starting off topic for today. Otherwise, it would have been something else, man. My son came up to me, and he was, I guess he's on Snapchat with one of his friends. And he was like, hey, Dad, so God made us. I was like, yeah. And then he said, who made God? I'm like,
have you wondered if your life experience?
Hey, ain't nobody tell you to talk yet. Be quiet. I was just like this, like, oh boy. I was wondering when and where that question was gonna come from and from who. But I'm sitting here like, he's 12 years old and he's asking questions like this. These kids are smart, man. This internet and all this social, man, all the information at fingertips, man. So it's like all us got to go back and relearn stuff, man, because they got questions. That's one of my favorite phases right there. You know what I'm saying? Love and see. That's one of my favorite questions right there one of my favorite phrases, I got questions. You know what I mean? These kids got questions. Just like when we was young, we had questions, except somebody was telling us not to question, or you too young to be asking that, or get out my face, don't be messing with me with that stuff, go focus on this, whatever, you know what I mean? Turning you away when you had those questions. And if you don't have the answer, if you have an opinion and direction to point them in, that's good enough, you know what I mean? But the last thing you want to do is just blatantly not answer these kids now, because they gonna find the answer, and you want to be in on that so you can kind of guide where they start, as they process that information, you can guide that, versus they just find it on their own and they don't care about what you say no more because, well, they just gonna turn me away anyway, I'm not gonna bother asking. No. And this question about him asking me that shocked the heck out of me, man. And so he said, but who made God? His friend was asking him. Maybe his friend had seen the question somewhere and, was just, trying to trip him up or whatever. And of course, you can't give the short answer with that. That's complicated as I don't know what. There's levels to those answers too, and I'm gonna be sharing that. All right. So my answer to him was, yes. In a sense, we made God. Before everybody lose their minds, let me make it make sense. Okay. Before organized religion, I'm finna get on it. And all this what I'm saying here is my answer. I couldn't give a short answer. There is no short answer. Before organized religion, right? Now, there's been different forms of worship, but you gotta ask yourself, where did that form of worship come from? Picture yourself as the first, men and women, here, y'all trying to figure it out, You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all still dropping dead from, testing different berries, trying to see what mushrooms is poisonous, what's not, running from dinosaurs if they was around, if you believe in that, or whatever. So, my thing is, what was their reaction when they first saw their, first sunrise? What was their reaction when they looked up and saw stars and moons? The planets was probably positioned different too. You probably could see them with your naked eye, more of them, you know what I'm saying? Nowadays, you can probably see Jupiter and Mercury or something like that with your naked eye. And Venus. Also, when they experienced their first earthquake, when they saw a volcano, you know what I mean? When they had their first child, whatever, you know what I mean? Just acts of nature, you know what I'm saying? I'll leave childbirth out of it. Just acts of nature itself, you know what I mean? A tornado, whatever. That's gonna blow your mind, right? You're gonna be trying to figure out where the heck did this come from? Sir Isaac Newton and all these people weren't around yet, you know what I mean? These are just people just living, you know what I mean? Got some intelligence, but, ain't quite there yet, so they got to figure things out. They did have language. They had forms of communications. Before it was verbal, it's probably, symbols and all that thing, rocks or something like that. Who knows? You see the cave paintings, you know how it was. So they had a way of communicating. But how do you explain natural phenomenon before science? And you're the first people, and there isn't an organized religion. The concept of a creator hasn't even come yet. Who's going to create that? Who's going to create the creator? Well, obviously us. You can't go up to the dinosaurs. You can't go up to the damn the Siberian tigers and the timberwolves and all these other things and say, hey, where did these come from? Say, hey, where did these come from? You're probably gonna get eaten alive. No, they had to hunt them because they was getting hunted. So who you gonna ask but go within? Here's where, we kind of get separated from the rest of the, terrestrial life or whatever. Because now you have to make up a story. Oh, well, there's this guy, he does this, he's in control of the storms. Oh, there's this other goddess, she's in control of the water. And, and then as it goes on, it gets more elaborate, You have to carry 2 coins, you have to paint this symbol on your shield, or you have to paint this symbol on your ship before you sail to appease this goddess or whatever, so they can give you a safe travels. You see what I'm saying? You see where all these different, you got to come up with something. And if we were all dogs, and we had the minds of humans, we could speak and everything, guess what image dog would be? We would say God was a dog, right? Because we creating God in our image, or God created us in his image, or we creating God in our image, you know what I mean? As in order for us to understand it, we have to bring it down to a human level. And so you look at all the different mythologies throughout time, Greeks, Romans, Egyptians, everybody, they got a pantheon, India. They got a pantheon of gods and goddesses, and they all control some function of nature. You see what I'm saying? Said, how could Adam and Eve disobey God if they hadn't ate the fruit yet to even understand God's command? Well, they was instructed not to eat of that. They was according to that, according to the Genesis story, they was already instructed. It said you could eat of every fruit of the tree except the tree of life. You know what I'm saying? For you to surely die. And then later on, the deception comes in. You know how that go. But you know how that story ends or continues. So they got all these different gods and goddesses for every single function of nature. Who but man could make that up? If we were any other animal, you know what I'm saying, with the same intelligence, that's the image that God would be in. And every God in every painting would be depicted as a dog. Or if we were ants, then it'd be ants. You know what I'm saying? Spiders, then it'd be spiders. You know what I'm saying? So it's for us to be able to understand. So they couldn't understand from the start. That takes me to another part of, I'm glad you asked that. That takes me to another part of the Bible when it talks about sin's advantage in the law. Basically, I'm paraphrasing here, but basically, it's not a sin if there's no law against it. You know what I mean? And so many laws is written in order to make something illegal. So they couldn't understand from the start, because if they was told half the instructions, hey, you can eat of everything, and then a week later and be like, oh yeah, by the way, don't eat from that tree over there. Are they wrong still? So if they was told from the start, they was just free. You got to remember, this is a story. They didn't even know they was naked until afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, yes, the whole thing with the fruit and everything, it's a analogy for something else, but we're gonna stick with fruit. So it wasn't until they was told, and even if they wasn't told from the start, you know, then how would the conversation with the serpent go? He said, "Oh, you were told that you couldn't eat from the tree or you would die." That's not true. You know what I mean? So if they weren't told by one, they was told by the other already, right before he, tricked them out their spot. You know what I'm saying? I hope I answered that clearly. I don't know. I kind of jump back and forth. I ain't gonna lose my train of thought though, because this like really blew my mind that he asked me this. So now, we evolving through time. Time going on, the years are going by, the decades, the centuries, and all these different things. These stories are gonna get way more elaborate. You know what I mean? And now you do have organized governments, cities, civilizations. They forming societies, subgroups. You know what I'm saying? And all the street code. You starting, man. I try to people. You starting, bro. You starting. All right. So who lied? God or the devil? God lied. However, let me go back on that. Yes, God lied, because he said if you eat of it, you will die. And it was also admitted by the angels when he said they have become as one of us. That's why they didn't want them to know, to be gods, knowing good and evil. If the only thing that makes us, that separates God from man is knowing good and evil, then what does that make us? Since we already know good and evil, since we ate of the tree of fruit, the fruits from the tree of life. You know what I'm saying? And knowledge. Life and death and knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So the angel said, oh, we got to go down there and kick them out because they have become as one of us, knowing good and evil. So by admission of that angel, we have become as one of them. So there's that answer. And hey, they didn't die. Long version of that is, yes, we have the curse of death. So in a sense, yeah, we did die. It wasn't as soon as you eat, you drop dead. But hey, we become mortal now. We could have been living forever. So in that case, dead. We died. So yeah, but on this, right, like to answer that question, street code, yes. All right, what was I? Okay. So now time moves on. The stories get more elaborate. Now you got systems of worship. You know what I'm saying? And now you can make people go to war. And now you can control societies. You can keep people docile, worship this. The priest class was really benefiting from all those donations and obviously, you know what I mean? So, hold up, Jada. So to answer his question when he asked me that, who came first, the chicken or the egg or whatever, you know what I'm saying? If God created us, who created God? Well, we created God in the sense of not the universal energies and things and all the acts of nature that compile as God. You know what I mean? That is God. We made it into a man so we can understand it on a human level, on a mankind level. You see what I'm saying? So that's that answer to that. That's my answer. I say that, my answer. I ain't gonna say everybody's answer. Everybody got different opinion. But, so God made us as in the forces, everything we consist of, that consists of, the universe consists of, okay? That's God. We are creation. We are incarnate. You know what I mean? The whole concept of soul, everything, the breath of life, all these different things, we consist of all those elements. We like the walking, talking periodic chart or something like that. You know what I'm saying? We got traces of all these different things, that are also used to make our products and sustain life and everything else. Dang, it's raining. I gotta put these windows up. Hold up. No. Hold on, man. The whole time it was forecasted, right? The whole time frame that the rain was forecasted, it didn't come. It wait till damn near a minute after that time that was forecasted, then it started raining. That's messed up, man. Okay. Well, hey, they was just asking me a question. I wouldn't be no disrespect now. Come on. All right. So that was my answer to that. Yes, we created it. We created God as in the form of the man and all the other stuff, and everything else got put in afterwards. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's raining. And that just I'm so happy he asked me that, because that answer had been swimming around in my head for so long, and I was waiting on some audience, and a child is they're gonna be honest, you know what I mean? Like, that don't make sense. It made sense. It made sense when I thought of it years back. It made sense when I was saying it just now, and it's making sense now. If anybody disagreed, hey, feel free. You know what I mean? Like I said, that's my answer. That's what I came up with myself. You know what I mean? Just reading, reading those scriptures and everything, and just really thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? Looking for like some kind of understanding other than what's been given to us on the surface. It drives me nuts. I can't stand it. Nothing should have people this docile and weak and just rolling over and taking the things that we take for the promise of a better life somewhere else. You know what I mean? When we got a whole lot living to do here. We like to say, oh, we in hell right now. Yeah, it's like, yeah, man, I mean, if by admission of that angel back then it said we has become one of them, then we got more power than we let on. And we say it all the time. We know this. What we say? Oh, no, they don't want unity. They're afraid of us. It's more of us than them. They don't want us to be together. They're afraid of that power. There it is. Said, I've created 8 kids. Does that make me a God or a father? It makes you a co-creator. I try to get away from the titles. God, well, father's one thing, dad, whatever, but God and all that, you're a co-creator in this big living organism we call the planet. Can you deem yourself a God? Sure. Obviously you're a father. You know what I mean? So that's a one-of-one. That's for you and you only. And for any other individual, you know what I'm saying? If somebody else feel like they want to tell somebody that and give them that title, that's on them. The only thing is to not give your, that's earned. You earned the title of father by not only making the baby, but playing a role as well. But, a God, like on earth, you know what I mean? God has, wisdom, all these different things that make up a God and the knowledge of good and evil. Well, hey, you know what? Yeah. What makes you a God or a devil? Your choices. You know what I mean? You got the God mind, you got the devil mind. So there you go. Each day, you decide which one you're going to be by the choice you make. And only you know what's in your heart when you make that choice. I mean, the devil worked for God, so, I just want to hear you go. It was already started off like that. I mean, just from that question, man. But yeah, that's just what it is, man. But now, if you want to go further into that, okay, when it comes to the chicken or the egg, well, who created the egg to get the chicken? Nothing. There is no such thing as a father without a mother. There is nothing that is not born from a womb. The womb is described as the matrix in the Bible. You know what I mean? So, see they. So, what do you think? What is the feminine force in our universe? The primordial darkness. If you and work with me here, and I'm not trying to be nasty here. You think of the womb. It's a void. It's dark. What was it before there was light? Void, dark. That's where the magic is made. It's just like when you during the spring and everything, at nighttime when it's dark and the moon's out, which is also a feminine principle, that's when all the magic is happening with the vegetation. When you come out the next day, you like, damn, that tree looked like it was barren. It looked like it grew leaves overnight, because in the dark, that's where the creation happens. Just like when you implant your seed in into the womb, the creation is happening in the dark, and then it's being brought to light to see that work. But somebody's doing the work, the formation. You see? So it's on a human level and on a universal level. That's both of us. It's all connected. You know what I mean? It makes you think of that song, Joy to the World. The Lord has come, let earth receive her king, and I'm kind of getting into astral theology here, but you think of the sun, right? And you think of the planet, and you see the sun's rays coming down to the planet. It's penetrating. It's Mother Earth, the rays of the sun, the male principle, God, and all that, whatever you want to call it. It's there. The seeds are already in the ground. Now it's bringing forth life in that darkness, and then the sun brings it out and shows the work. You know, that's perfect harmony between masculine and feminine. We need more of that within ourselves. We need to be working at, you know. It says, what is loosed in heaven should be loosed on earth, and what is bound in heaven should be bound on earth. It's pretty damn chaotic on earth. So imagine what the heaven's like. It's because we are connected in the first place, you know. So they say, we living in here right now. You damn right we are. Who's it up to make it paradise? Us. You know, that's what Jesus was trying to tell people before they killed him. Just like every other leader, real leader that comes out and really be for the people, they kill him off. He was revolutionary, man. He was telling people the power that they had outside of the church is telling them that they had no power. That the only way you can do something is you got to come to our church. You got to worship. You got to give us all your belongings, your best treasures and all that. That's what the religious institutions was doing. Jesus came and said, oh, no. The same thing I can do, don't marvel at what I do. You can do the same thing. All us can do this, man. There's more of us than them. They say, no, we got to shut this dude up. We got to kill this dude. No. We can't do it. You know, that man was trying to show us the power that we all had. Everybody but you're wrong, Street Cup. You're wrong. Oh, hey, he's still alive. Enough said. You know, as powerful as that man is, he's still alive. I ain't got nothing else to say. Don't come after me, Nation of Islam. Just saying, you know, powerful leaders, especially black leaders, black men, you know, strong black men, they tend to not make it. Not that I'm wishing it on them, but I'm just saying, if you look at the track record, it don't fare well for, you know, for strong black leaders, you know what I'm saying? And he's still around kicking all this time. So, you know, either he's playing his role or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna touch on that though. I ain't trying to be disrespectful. But that's just it, man. You know? So, I digress. Primordial darkness, man. That's it. Also, if anybody ever watched the show Supernatural, they depicted God's sister as the darkness. What up, Tony Bands? They depicted God's sister as the darkness. You know, if anybody ever see that show, that's a good show. You know, they get hit on a lot of, you know, principles like just mythology and everything, man. They do it good. So that was really interesting seeing that depicted like that too. I was like, oh, okay, that's tight. I like that. You know what I mean? Because there is no, you know, everything is male and female. Hell, even when you're talking about a fire hose, they say the male end and the female end. You know, you name me one damn. Oh, wait, I think roaches are asexual. You know, them insects. You know what I mean? But mammal, you know, you find me one that's asexual, that's born of itself. You know, you show me one thing that don't have that, you know, mammal, you know what I mean, that don't have a female counterpart. It ain't happening. So when it comes to father, mother, you know, the planet, us being children, the darkness itself, meaning this big black sky, you know, that's mother. Father is shining on it all the time. Earth receiving her king every single day. And we respond to the same thing. So that's that on that. Now, to come back to Earth for a little bit. Collective rage and soul ties. You know, if y'all had noticed, I just like to study people, you know, and try to understand our behaviors and why we do the things we, you know, why we are the way we are, you know, outside of blaming devils and all these different things, just on a, you know, just, yeah, on a soul level, you know what I mean? And for the longest, you know, we've been wild, you know what I mean? They've had to try to control us all kinds of ways since slavery, since they brought us here, you know what I mean? And, you know, you think about how, you know, we always talk about our ancestors. So, you know, I think about how they felt on that middle passage, you know, as they looking at their brethren, you know what I mean? Probably former ops, you know, enemies or something like that they was at war with. Now they all in the same boat, literally. You know, as they're jumping overboard, they're seeing their women and sisters, mothers, whatever, jumping overboard and dying, you know. how they, you know, that the rage they felt. And y'all know how it is, you know what I'm saying? We all been, you know, checked by our mother or father or something like that. And you want to swing, you want to swell up, but you know you better not. You just got punked and you got to take that L and you mad as hell. And you like, oh boy, I can't. Think about hundreds of years of that, okay? And our thoughts and everything go out to the universe. I guess I can't just keep it down there. All our thoughts and everything, they like prayers, they go out, you know what I'm saying? And it goes out into the ethers and it stays there in the Akashic records, whatever you want to talk, you know, call it. And then you fast forward, you know what I'm saying, past that, you know, you're in, you know, modern times, civil rights, all these different things. And you see how we are. You see how we are amongst ourselves, you know what I mean? A collective rage. Do you all think, and this is my question, do you all think that that has something to do with that there is a serious soul tie, that there is a collective rage that has been tampered down or manipulated, in fact, and used against us, that was really, you know, designed to go elsewhere because of those things, and the fact that that kind of pressure still happens to this day? You know, it just happens more with ourselves. But have y'all seen this explosion of violence and crime? It's everywhere. There's no place safe, whether it be suburbs. I mean, whole cities are losing, you know, part of their populations now. You know, there's this channel on here, you know, where a guy here had these lists, you know, the top 10 cities that people are leaving and moving to in 2023 and 2024 or whatever, you know. And then he breaks it down, you know, because of crime. And, you know, you hear 480% increase and all these different things. You know, people going to start leaving, along with lack of opportunity. Those work, you know, they coincide hand in hand. So I'm wondering if that's what this is, why it seems so out of control, why no matter what positive role model comes up, no matter what programs you put in, it could never just take a full hold, because there's just always this rebellious, angry energy that's really ancestral. You know, we always say, you know, they're turning in their graves with how we are and things like that. You know, could it be that, you know, hey, y'all pointing that in the wrong direction, it's supposed to go this way, not this way? You know what I mean? I don't know, y'all let me know what y'all think about that, and you know, if y'all want to comment or whatever, or later on, man. That's just been in my head, you know. I just had to get that out there. Okay, YNW Melly. We'll be at 20. All right, cool. YNW Melly. You know, we all know what happened. And leading up to this, it seemed like it was a sure shot that dude was, you know, guilty. That's it, game over. And then starts lingering a little bit, you know, and then mistrial. You know, I don't know if, you know, some people had an opinion that, you know, it's going to make it worse. You know, he got to spend more money. They're going to come back. You know, ain't no statute of limitations on that. So that, you know, if they want him bad enough, then yeah, you know, if it's like when the industry got work for him type deal, then so be it. You know, it might be one of those things, which I ain't really going that way. My opinion, two things. How much, or, you know, who couldn't somebody stand to lose? Bribe or threaten? Who the hell, who in the jury got reached? You know what I'm saying? Who got an envelope? You know what I'm saying? And how much was it? Was it substantial to sustain a lifestyle? You know what I'm saying? Because if something like that comes out later, you know, it's bad. You know, it's bad all the way around. So that's my little quick snippet on that. Bribe, threat. Who, you know, how much was it, or who couldn't they stand to lose? You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how them movies be when somebody be talking, be like, yeah, such and such, da 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 da, and then they be sitting there holding their baby, and then you see that red dot on their baby just following up through the window. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of messed up. 8 of them, bruh, 8 jurors, bruh. Come on now, it's 12 people on the jury. 8 of them are hung. Nah, bruh, ain't no 8 jurors. You know, maybe 2 or 3 I give you out of 12. 8, yeah, that's 4 people that's like, man, I don't care, man. But hell, if you got 8 jurors already over there, you know, you don't really care about the other 4. So my question is, you know, who took the payment and who couldn't stand to lose somebody who was in danger? You know what I'm saying? How much was it and who was in danger? That's all you know what I'm saying? That's the only 2 things I can think of, you know? And, you know, maybe not him personally got that kind of reach. Somebody got that kind of reach. Yeah, I think you're right, Street Code. I think it is 8 of them, man. Also, let me see here. Jamie Foxx some couple of videos came out, because I've been wondering about him. I've been wanting to hear a statement or whatever, and some video that came out, people say it was an old video, couldn't tell it was him. So I haven't even listened to this yet, so I'm gonna just play this and see what he's saying. And to give credit, this first video is from Comedy Hype.
Temu Curve Hot Summer Sale. Up to 90%
Temu, man, I can't remember. Temu got a lot of good stuff though, for real.
First of all, I want to say thank you to everybody that's prayed, man, and sent me messages. I cannot even begin to tell you how far it took me and how it brought me back. I went through something that I thought I would never ever go through.
Bruh. That man don't even look the same, bro. I tap to retry something wrong. Bro, look at that. My man's, he look light. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know he older, lost a little weight, but you can tell he been through an ordeal.
I went through something that I thought I would never ever go through. And I know a lot of people were waiting, or wanting to hear updates, but to be honest with you, I just didn't want you to see me like that, man. I want you to see me laughing, having a good time, partying, cracking a joke, doing a movie, television show. I didn't want you to see me with tubes running out of me and trying to figure out if I was gonna make it through. And to be honest with you, my sister Deidre Dixon, my daughter Corinne Marie saved my life. So to them, to God, to a lot of great medical people, I'm able to leave you this video. I cannot tell you how great it feels to have your family kick in such a way.
All right, he said before he got hurt, he was the same age since Booty Call. Hey, shout out to Rebecca. The wife finally joined. Smash that like, subscribe, just like she said, or she gonna come looking for y'all, not me. Sparks said before he got hurt, he was the same age since Booty Call. Yeah, man, you a fool for that, Sparks. Yeah, but I understand what he was saying. He said he don't want people to see him like that. The actor that played the Black Panther, he didn't tell nobody he was dying, bro. You know what I'm saying? He just did his work the whole time, sick and dying. Who knows what kind of pain he was in, because he didn't want to, people focusing more on his illness than his work. You know what I'm saying? And so some people do it like that. So I'm not finna go and say, oh, he the Illuminati, he's scared. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to speak out. That's what he said. So I'm not gonna say all that, but you know what I'm saying? The strangeness surrounding that movie set and the money going missing, and you know what I'm saying, who was he working with, the actress from Charlie's Angels and all that. I'm forgetting her name, man. Damn. Cameron Diaz. You know what I'm saying? She quit acting and all. So I'm like, it was too much stuff surrounding this, and then he getting before this happened. But as far as him not wanting this, what I'm saying, be seeing all that, I get it. Also, Queen Lotus 126. She did a tarot about Jamie Foxx. I ain't watched the video yet. I got it saved. Y'all go check it out, that channel. But the title was like, they couldn't control him type deal. You know what I'm saying? So y'all go check that out. I'm definitely gonna watch that.
And y'all know they kept it airtight. They didn't let nothing out. They protected me, and that's what I hope that everyone could have in moments like these. Now, by being quiet, sometimes things, get out of hand. People saying what I got. Some people said I was blind, but as you can see, the eyes are working. The eyes are working just fine. They said I was paralyzed. I'm not paralyzed. But I did go through I went to hell and back, and my road to recovery.
Wow. You know, was that a slip? You know what I'm saying? Not literally, but you know, somebody's making this life hell. You know, I'm hearing a very sanitized version of what he wants to say. You know, and I don't even feel like I'm reaching by saying that. You know, this sounds like a very polished, you know, hey, I'm alive statement, you know, and that's that. You know, say no more, say no less. That's what I'm getting from this. I'm glad to see him up and talking, though. You know what I mean?
Had some potholes as well, but I'm coming back, and I'm able to work. So I want to thank the people that let me work, and I just want to say that I love everybody, and I love all of the love that I got. And man, you know,
he about to cry.
Talk about people crying on videos. You know, you can do take two, but I'm not gonna do a take two. It is what it is. And if you see me out from now on, and every once in a while I just burst into tears, is because it's been tough, man. I was sick, man, but now I got my legs under me, so you're gonna see me out. But like I said, I just want you to remember me for the jokes that I crack, the movies that I make. Some of them good, some of them ain't. I think I got a good one out.
Why is he still talking like he's, you know, writing a suicide note? I just want y'all to remember me for cracking jokes, and I want y'all. Where you going, Jamie? You know what I'm saying? Like, you just say you're getting back out, and you're like, I want people to remember me. Or you're just talking about future tense, you know what I mean?
And songs that I sing, man. And then, you know, some people was talking about I'm clone. Well, check this out. Just kidding. Not clone, man, but I'm here on earth because of some great people. I'm here on earth because of God, man. So I love all y'all. I just wanted to jump on here and let you know that I'm on my way back in love.
Thoughts? Comments? You know, some people are the opinion that them people got to him. Like I said, too much strange stuff surrounding the movie they were doing and all that, and what the movie was talking about. Farewells. Yeah, I mean, he sounded like he was writing his suicide though, bro. I want people to remember me for this, or you know, you see me out about like he doing his farewell tour, bro. You know, he. I mean, like I said, I know he's, you know, he ain't a young dude, you know what I'm saying, but he just looks different, bro. Whatever he had, you know what I'm saying, heart stuff, it'll age you overnight. You know, we know that. You know what I mean? But you know, it seemed like it just came out of nowhere. And then the things surrounding what was happening during the time leading up to, and now he's here, you know, nice and calm and everything. You know, at least his hair ain't blonde. Then we really know something, right? But it is there. You know, something then shook him back. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how he's, you know, going along. You know, as the time goes. You know, what kind of work he gets. You know, roles he get and all that. You know what I mean? And I'm curious of what Queen Lotus got to say. All right. This next video is from Chestnut Checkers TV. It's probably playing the same video, but I seen two videos related, so I just so I'm gonna go ahead and play them both.
What you play? Some folks said it was the jizab, so it was all sorts of rumor and innuendo, conspiracy. But what I find very strange is that out of all the days that Jamie Foxx has chosen to take to social media and show his face, he chose July 21st, 2023. Now, the relevance of that day signifies his movie, They Clone Tyrone, being released on Netflix. If that isn't strange, I don't know what.
Whoa, oh, okay. So I didn't know that. You know, I didn't know that they Clone Tyrone was his movie. You know what I mean? And what did Jamie say towards the end of that video? There's rumors say I'm cloned, and then he did like this. You know, just kidding. You know what I mean? But So there's that. He's making a clone joke, you know, probably just loose promotion of his movie. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna just reach all the way out there yet, you know. Probably just, you know, loosely promoting the movie in a little side tongue-in-cheek way. All right, I give him that, you know. And then July 21st, he makes this. Okay. Huh. That's why I like this channel.
The hell is.
First of all, I want to say thank you to everybody that's prayed, man, and said,
yeah, it's playing it all over here. So I want to hear what the whoever this is commenting gonna say.
With two, and I tell you how great everyone could have said I'm coming back. About people crying, yeah. Just kidding and let you know.
That you decide to show up on the
way back. And love.
What's up, Porn Star JR?
He said that he wasn't cloned. But still yet, it is very odd that you decide to show up on the same day of your movie being released on Netflix, which is called They Clone Tyrone. It's strange and it's quite eerie, okay? Y'all let me know what you think and make it make sense for me, because
you make it make sense. Ah, man, look, man, it's already enough going on, man. So for those y'all ascribe to the you know, I'm of the mind that anything's possible. You know, there's all kind of scientists that do things that play God in a sense, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to create their own civilization, their own world, you know what I'm saying, out of what was already created. You know, it's fine what we got, you know what I mean? Can't take care of what we got good. We're gonna try to create, you know, and move to other planets and all that, man. Speaking of which, and it's, you know, oh, okay, all right. These doctors, all right, these people, I know they're doing cloning, they doing all kinds of gene splicing and stuff, you know. Y'all probably seen articles with the sheep with the human face, and you know, it was like a monkey, it was like a chicken with a monkey's face and all this, and this is real stuff, man. And you wondering where this stuff is coming from. And then the sightings, all these different cryptids, they call them cryptids, all these, you know, strange creatures and things that you see, you wouldn't only expect to see in the movies, you know. They spotting them, you know what I mean? Not every video is a hoax, you know what I'm saying? Some of the stuff just be, you know, and if it can't be explained, don't mean it's not real, all right? But we, you know, they're doing all kinds of things where they're, you know, mixing human and animal DNA. Where I'm going with this, Nephilim. That was the other part I'm glad I, you know, we touched on it. That mentioned that cloning thing. Nephilim, okay? Anybody remember in the Bible, the Nephilim were the children, were the offspring of the union of angels and humans. Okay. You know, I got too many things popping in my head. Y'all work with me here. I'm getting a little, you know, going all over the place. Two different birds made it to make a chicken. Yeah. Hey, I saw a video on that some months back, man. Cause yeah, it was like where the chicken came from. It was like the history of the chicken or something like that, man. That's crazy. Hey, I appreciate them two birds for their contribution to humanity. Chicken is a beautiful meat. If you not eating chicken at least 3 times a week, you just letting the life and go by. I don't know what you're doing with yourself. All right. So, all right, Nephilim. And then, you know, you think about the Greek gods, you know, Zeus, he had sex with all kinds. That's why it was demigods all over the place. He was having sex with women. So, you know, hey, it's like these stories just carry over, man. But, and so in the Bible, it said they created giants, you know what I mean? And, you know, you had your what did it say, men of renown and all these different things. And this is part of the reason Earth was destroyed. So, you gotta think about this. It said in the Bible that the Nephilim was sinning against mankind. You know, it created, you know what I'm saying? It mentioned them, you know, they were basically eating the humans because they weren't satisfied. They hunger weren't satisfied. They're too big. They're giants, you know what I mean? And, you know, so they were supposedly eating the people. And it said they were sinning against the wildlife and all these different things. Well, obviously they didn't eat them all. So what do they mean by sinning against? Some people think that they mean sexually. You know, like they were having sex with all these different animals. No. We're talking about science, you know. You got to remember, these, you know, when these angels came down, they not only had sex with men, but they taught the lesser mysteries. to humankind, which is what gave us, all our weapons and ability to wage war and how to do makeup and taught the women how to do witchcraft and how to work with different roots and everything, and for medicines and things too, not just spells or whatnot. But they taught us all these different, taught mankind all these different things according to this story. Okay. And this, was the first fall. I think I mentioned this before in the last live or one, I don't know. But they were trying to, just create hybrids, and they sinned against man, they sinned against the birds and the animals and the beasts of the field and all those different things. Now, reason why I'm talking about this, yeah, for real, that thirst is never quenched, huh? Reason why I'm talking about this is because I once had the question, was the bloodline of the Nephilim truly destroyed off the face of the earth? Reason why I say this is because of the book of Enoch, okay, which they took out of the Bible. If anybody haven't read it, please read it. Read it all the way through. It fills in a lot of blanks. But when Enoch was taken through heaven, and that's why I first learned that there was more than one heaven, that there was like 10 of them. You know what I mean? That's different. Like we say, there's levels to this. It's levels to it, bro. So there was a particular heaven that was a prison for all of the Nephilim that were destroyed. And they were chained up and they were alive. And they were forced, and their punishment is they were forced to live they were to live and be forced to watch their offspring die throughout eternity. For as long as their bloodline was in the world. So that's why I say, was every Nephilim truly destroyed in the flood? Maybe not, because if they're up there and they're watching their generations die for all time, then that means why they don't preach that. You know why they don't preach it, man. It's not profitable. That's the easy answer. It's not profitable. But they know. That's the sad part. They know better. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, I wish I can get access to the Vatican. I probably can't even read half the stuff in there because it's in a foreign language. But damn, I know I'll find something useful. But, yeah, the video that I saw, it was called The History of Chicken or something like that. I don't know which one he saw, but it was called The History of Chicken. I hope that's it. But even if you type that in, it should pop up, in the algorithm, whatever. Yeah, so, you think about, they were men of renown, right? And so you think of who are the men of renown today? Your celebrities, your idols, you know what I mean? And then you have your scientists, these people with these brains, these geniuses. What the hell they mess with animals for? Mixing them up and all this. Got the GMO, got the lab created meats, all these different things. The same people sinning against humanity, sinning against the animals, sinning against the beasts of the field. Nephilim ain't going nowhere. They still here. They may not be giant. You know what I'm saying? Giants of industry, maybe. But look like you and me. And they may not be aware of it. They just know things. They're able to do things. They don't know why. Even if it's leading to something dangerous, they can't stop themselves from doing it. It's in their blood. If anything else is possible, you know what I mean? If somebody's just reading the Bible on the surface, it's like reading Lord of the Rings or something, you know what I mean? Just a big quest to a big final battle like Endgame or something, you know what I'm saying? So let's not count that out, especially since I read that in the book of Enoch, you know what I'm saying, that they were imprisoned up there, watching their generations die for eternity. We ain't reached the end of eternity yet, so that means they still here. So that's my little tidbit to add on to the first part of what we was talking about, you know what I'm saying? All right, that's it, man. That's all my topics, man. Street Code, if you want to start something else, go ahead, put another comment in there, ask a question or something. I don't know, man. But yeah, that's that, man. But just to recap, the first part for anybody who may not have been in here, it was my son asked me, God created us, right? And I said, yeah. And he said, well, who created God? And I was ready for an answer because it was something that I had thought about years ago, and I never got a chance to share it because the question never posed itself. And I always said I want to have an answer for things, even if it's not, if it's half right and it points the person in the right direction, that's good enough for me. You know what I mean? But when somebody asked that question, I want to be able to. Well, his friend asked him that. Oh, and we got some light now. Man, it is hot up in this car. I'm up here sweating like I'm TD Jakes or somebody, man. All right. So my answer to him was that, yes, the way we know God as, a man in the sky, so to speak, yes, we created that. You know what I'm saying? But because, and I say we created that because I was saying, think of the first humans. If you were the first humans and you've seen your first acts of nature, your first thunderstorm and tornado or earthquake or volcano or whatever, you're gonna, or tidal wave or typhoon, you're gonna be wondering where the hell that came from. And there's no organized religion yet, you know what I'm saying, to tell you what to believe. But all we have is oratory and crude ways of writing then, and paintings and drawings mostly. And so if you see those things, you're going to need a way to explain that. And the best way to explain it is to convert all these different things to human terms. So you assign them, to a God or something. There's a God that lives in the sea. There's a God that lives in the sky. There's a God that lives in the ground. There's a God that guards the forest. You know what I'm saying? All these different things in order to explain acts of nature until, as time goes on, the brain starts to grow, all these different things, and we get our scientists, our great minds out there, and they start explaining all these different things. It's what two birds created. Oh, okay. What two birds created. Okay. And that's what and so yeah, so we created these stories and things to go along to explain these things so we can better understand it for ourselves, because we couldn't explain it in the form of anything else but what we are. And I was saying, if we was all dogs and we walking on our hind legs speaking English, then guess what image God gonna be? It's gonna be a dog. When you see the Sistine Chapel up on there, Michelangelo painted, it'll be two dogs reaching like this with paws, instead of two humans. So the God was gonna be coming in the form of whatever how it was formed in the mind of the creation. You know what I mean? Science or religion? Damn, street code, where you come from, bro? You asking all the right questions. Science and religion, they're supposed to complement each other, but just like everything else in this world, it's always a bridge, it's always a versus instead of a, featuring, you know what I'm saying, or something with this, Chili con carne, there you go. Two things work together. That's a good thing. If those two never got together, just imagine all the flavors we'd be missing out on. So science and religion need to get their heads out of their asses, and they know better. Both sides know better. Hell, even Stephen Hawking recognized the higher power, towards the ends of his days. You know what I'm saying? So it's like some of these people, they're professional atheists. You know what I'm saying? They want to, just because of the way it's taught. You know what I'm saying? That's why I come at it the way I do. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not trying to delegitimize anything. The force and the energy and everything that created us is very real. But the story and how everything was converted and making everything human-like, that was all us, just for us to understand it, So science is the language of religion. You think of it as the left and right hemisphere of the brain. I see this tree over here, right? I'm looking at this tree. It's beautiful. I don't know how it grows yet. I don't know about seeds yet. Damn, man, that's, all right, it's, leaves, it's giving fruits and stuff, right? Maybe I can eat them, maybe I can't, I don't know. And now I'm looking at it, all right? Then later science comes along and says, oh, well, no, that's not a God, no. Well, it's just these seeds right here, from small acorns, oaks, trees grow and things like that, and you explain it and you cut it open and you show me the rings and you can tell me the age of it. Okay, but who created the damn seed? You see? You can't discredit one or the other. You know what I mean? That's what they do. They create these debates and, creationists and all these different people. They do these things, man. And it's like, it's one and the same. One helps you understand the other. That's why mathematics is applied to the Bible all through. Everything by multiples of 7 and 3s and all these different things. And 12, that ain't by mistake. You know what I mean? And I hate math, honestly, But it's all kinds of geometry. Sacred geometry, if you want to call it. You know what I mean? So that's my answer to that. Science and religion is supposed to walk hand in hand. One helps explain the other. You know what I mean? Right. Porn star, yeah, divisiveness. You know what I mean? Yin yang, all that. It could be so many things that could be quelled if those two communities just simply acknowledge that neither one delegitimizes the other. That's the thing. These people, they are, fueled by the other side, okay? Even if they don't know it. You know what I mean? And because devil gives too. He takes care of his own too. So they're fighting to create this system of disbelief. You know what I mean? Because what brings about disbelief? It brings about a nihilism. You know what I mean? Where you just have no more faith in anything, no hope in anything. You know what I mean? And that's one of our strongest attributes. Faith, hope, charity. You know what I'm saying? That's scripture too. But, you know, charity being the greatest. But, so imagine if you have nothing to believe in. What we say, you fall for anything. Wouldn't it benefit them to create a society like that? Especially these young kids, got them plugged in all types of ways, but no substance to them. Because they want them empty so they can put the substance into them. Literally, like a Neuralink chip. You know what I mean? Or something in your hand or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, I hope I answered your question right, Street Code. I think you knew what I was going to say. But that's it, man. Science is just the bridge. You know, it's a bridge that needs repairing, you know, or needs to be built, you know what I'm saying, between those two communities, because one explains the other. You know what I'm saying? It's just one comes from the right hemisphere and the heart. The other one comes from the left hemisphere. You know what I'm saying? Our logical side. That's just it. You know what I mean? All right, man. So, anything else? Let me see. So they put Street Code. I'm gonna beat you. This one. This dude says, so did gravity pull the apple from the tree, or did the apple outgrow its stem, or nature's way of feeding non-climate animals or reproducing? All of the above, Street Code. All of the above. You know, just like Final Destination, Death's Design. He had all these different elements to create this perfect death. All right, perfect for them, you know, perfect for him. You know, he's kind of messed up. So yeah, so gravity pulled the apple. It was able to have an effect on the apple because the stem, it got too heavy for the stem. It was ripe. It was ready to be pulled. Somebody should have pulled it, then it wouldn't have fell on his head. You know, and then non-climate animals, of course, they gonna benefit from it. So it all works together. And if the story is true, let's be thankful that, you know, Sir Isaac Newton was sitting under that tree. You know, I know he was probably one of the first person to discover gravity, but that's who they teach about. So, you know, for the purpose of this joke, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So don't spoil it for me. All right. So, you know, luckily Sir Isaac was sitting under an apple tree. And he just happened to be sitting under that one spot where there was that one ripe apple that hit him. And he said, gravity, you know, or whatever the formula he made for it. You know what I'm saying? So there's your answer. You didn't think I was gonna try to answer that, huh? Oh man, it's been fun, man. I'm about to get out and walk around, bro. It's hot. It's humid, man. I'm looking at the leaves right now. There is no wind blowing whatsoever on no leaf, man. It's supposed to cool down because of the rain, but I know if I stand out, you know, I get a little cool, whatever, man. But man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. Make sure y'all hit the like, share it, subscribe, man. Let me go ahead and do my shout outs. Sparks Visual, Street Code, NC, Sharpshooter Judah, Pornstar JR, Tony Bands, Rebecca. Anybody else? Alright, that's it, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking me. Love y'all. Be safe. Be blessed.